Hey, how's it going? Thanks again for joining me for day number 13 of the whole doodle challenge of October. And today is day number 13, which is Dune. So this one was a kind of another difficult one for me to kind of sketch out. Because at least for me, obviously, I immediately started thinking about the old classic Dune movie that came out in the 80s, I believe, or early 90s. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to do kind of a hero that was kind of reliant on mechanical aspects of it, but that this mechanical aspects gave him his superpowers. Like it was just kind of an interesting aspect. But the powers that I wanted to give him, and we'll discuss them more towards the end of the video, are very inspired by a Marvel character named Terrax. He was a herald of Galactus, and there was an issue of Fantastic Four where it kind of showed his powers and abilities, which were he could control the earth. And so I always thought that was kind of a cool power that kind of like an earthbender from the TV show Avatar. And so it that was kind of the way I was going to go with it. But as you can see here, I'm kind of drawing out that this hero requires to have like a mechanical suit with like these vials out of his back that help power him. And so, he's and then I wanted to kind of make him a little rough and gruffer, and so I added like some tattered clothing to his armored shell, I guess. So, but as we can see here, I added in the rocks, and on the right hand side of the image, you can see that I've got him kind of summoning rocks to his hand, and obviously using the rocks to help him fly or do whatever he hover or whatever he's doing. And so, but I really enjoy doing this hero. He's going to be someone that I'm going to incorporate into one of the video games that I'm working on. Very similar to my past hero, Renegade. You can go into my YouTube channel and view the video on him as well. But yeah, he's. I'm going to try my best to incorporate him into that. So here we can see I'm starting to color it out and stuff. With this one, I kind of was struggling on what kind of color I wanted to give him. I think I was initially going to do like his powers more of a green, but I felt that it looked too much like poison and stuff, and so I think I settled with like a magenta or an orange or something. I don't remember. We'll see here in a minute, but yeah, I really enjoyed designing him out once I initially had an idea and where I was wanting to go with it. Um, One of the big things with me is if I can get like a story in my mind right away, it helps me as I design out the character and stuff. And so sometimes the powers aren't always, oh, I switched the ground to a green. Interesting. But yeah, it sometimes the powers always don't get solidified and stuff and all that. But you can see here, I'm just coloring in the armor and stuff like that. But the weird thing about it is, even subconsciously, as I was looking at it, and I was looking at it like a YouTube channel or looking at some video games or something, I was noticing that the helmet design was very reminiscent of the Dead Earth, I believe was the video game that it was called. And so I didn't realize that until I went with a blue energy. Okay. Until I had just, was kind of reviewing over some of those things and saw that video game character, and I was like, oh wait, that's very reminiscent of that video game. So it's interesting how subtle things like that in your life can help inspire your art and stuff. So here I'm finishing up everything, and there we go. So that was day number, what day was that again? Day number 13, Dune. And so let's get into the backstory and powers of this hero. So this hero's name is Dune, so it's a code name for the government experiment that they were doing on him. So, but I'm getting into the backstory here, so don't worry. So the backstory for this character: the United States was not the only country making efforts to thwart the catastrophic alien invasion. The country of Israel, with its allies, made an attempt to develop various super serums that could be used to enhance soldiers against the invading forces. Some of these were successful, others left the test subjects dependent on the drug. One gentleman, codenamed Dune, became so dependent that he overdosed in an effort to end his life. What instead happened is a miracle. his body was drastically altered to perform extreme superhuman feats. Through this surprising success, Dune led many attacks and liberated many suppressed nations in Europe from the evils of the malevolent aliens, making him the hero of Europe. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the powers and abilities of this character. So, due to the overdose that Dune underwent, pardon me, let me start over. The overdose that Dune underwent was a very unlikely circumstance of genetics and the right scenario, which led him to gain a very unlikely power. Now, when powered by a small dose of his serum, which has been specially anodized, ionized, he can manipulate the earth and ground around him. It is still unclear how he does this, but many believe that he may have the ability to manipulate the particulates of the ground themselves. Others believe that he has the ability to alter or manipulate the gravitational field of the ground around him. It is still unknown. But this ability has left the evil species unable to defend or take additional ground in their conquest efforts. So once again, thank you for joining me for day number 13, was it? 13 or 14? Day 13. The superhero was Dune, and the prompt was also Dune. Thanks again, and we'll see you for the next one.